Hello friends, and welcome to day 39 of the 90-day challenge, stepping into 2020 on the right foot. And I hope that you've had a great day. I know that I have, and I know that April has, but we weren't together most of the day. But I will say this, I did get to sleep in this morning. I got up early to take Lauren to the band room to go to a band contest. I came home and I slept for some more hours.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Then I got up and my wife had made an amazing breakfast.
I just made eggs and bacon.
Well, eggs and bacon is amazing to me. And then I went and worked in Oklahoma City. I get to freelance some games with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And so today was one of those days. I got to go down and it's fun. I enjoy doing that. It's sort of a break from the norm. You get to do some challenging things, some fun things, and so I'll put a little video up of sort of where we do it. Due to the fact that I'm working, I can't really shoot a whole lot while I'm working, but I can show you where we work and what we do. And so it was a good day. What about you? What'd you guys do?
Well, I got up and took Thomas over to feed the pigs, and then I came back and I worked and did my office hours on Zoom, and then made breakfast. And then once I kind of was able to sit down and everybody else was doing their thing quietly, I was able to do some video. And then Thomas and I hauled wood because it's going to be crazy cold on Monday. So we have wood for a fire. And then we went over to the pork chop dinner. We were there for the majority of the day.
And what's the pork chop dinner?
It is the one big fundraiser that the Ag Boosters do. I mean, they do like Blue and Gold, that's FFA, but the Ag Boosters actually do a pork chop dinner to where all the businesses in town donate things, and then we show up and the community shows up and supports the kids. They typically raise between $25,000 and $30,000 on the pork chop dinner night.
That's good. And so, for those that may not know, both Thomas and Lauren are involved with FFA and showing pigs and taking the class. And so, we're now in the pig farming business, apparently. So, but it's good, and I think they really enjoy it. And so, it teaches them a little bit of a lesson. Last year, Thomas did a pig, and Lauren helped out with the pig quite a bit. And so, at the end of the season, when it was time to slaughter the pig and create food, it was pretty emotional. But it does teach them, you got to get up, you got to go take care of it in the morning, you go to school, then you take care of it in the evening, and you do that over and over every day. Whether it's cold or rainy or nice or whatever, you got to do it. So, anyway, today was also day 6 of our I started to say our Shameless Audacity challenge, but it's not that. It's the Draw the Circle challenge, and today's title was Shameless Audacity. I like the word audacity. It speaks of boldness to me. What are you doing?
I was just going to hold it.
Okay. That was awkward.
Okay.
Anyway, it speaks of boldness to me, about doing things out of the norm, doing things that are bigger and wilder and crazier than probably what the normal is. So,
What'd you think about that tree and the witch doctor?
I think that's pretty bold, pretty audacious.
Yeah.
And so, for me, it was just one of those times that God gets to show off. I think if you read the Bible, God shows off quite a bit, but He doesn't show off all the time, and He doesn't do it for just any reason. He does it to bring glory to Himself, and the interesting part is He does it through people, and so it was encouraging this morning to read that.
I thought it was awesome that the tree, not only did it come back to life, but it gave double fruit.
Twice a year. Fruit twice a year. Yeah, a double blessing. Which, interestingly enough, Mark Batterson's newest book is called Double Blessing. I haven't read it yet, but I think you started it, right? Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that goes. What do you think of it?
Think of what?
The Double Blessing book.
I haven't got through all of it yet.
Okay, but you have been through some of it.
It's good.
Okay. And you made that difficult.
I can't give an opinion if I haven't finished it.
Yes, you can. You can say, I think it's good so far. I think it's slow so far.
No, it's good.
Okay. Give me this back. So the verse that goes along with today is Luke 11:8, which is talking about if you knock on a friend's door and are persistent and don't stop knocking even though he's gone to bed, eventually the friend will get up and get you what you need, not out of friendship, as it says, but because of your shameless audacity, he will surely get up and give you as much as you need. Basically, to get you to stop pestering him. That is what it says in the NIV version. Now, I was looking across earlier to what the different versions said, and the NIV is the one that used the term shameless audacity. So that means it must be real, right? I mean, it's kind of like the King James version and then the NIV. Those are like the only versions.
I don't know if our friends out there have the plausibility of the 2,000 translations down.
I did look at that too. So on the YouVersion Bible app, there's over 2,000 translations of the Bible in over 1,300 different languages. I mean, how cool is that?
That's awesome.
So, okay. So it was pretty short, but it did talk about Bob leading a prayer group in Africa, I think it was. And the church was so small, they didn't have a building. They just met under a shade tree. The witch doctor comes in, curses the tree withers, and the church, the small, budding, growing church led by a missionary, all of a sudden doesn't have a place to meet.
Yeah.
And so Bob said, we can't have this. And he went, and long story short, they had a prayer session around the tree. Bob laid his hands on the tree and prayed that God would restore the tree. And he
You're
said...
looking for where he said that it wasn't his name.
No, and I mean, I am. But it's interesting for the reason. He says... I love this dedication of prayer. There are times when you need to do whatever it takes. You need to grab hold of the horns of the altar and not let go. You need to dare demonic forces to a duel. You need to do something crazy, something risky, something different. And then he goes down to the end. He says the moral of this parable is to prevail in prayer, but it also reveals the character of him who answers the prayer. The request is not simply granted because of the repeated requests. Prayer is answered to preserve God's good name. After all, it's not our reputation on the line. It's His. So, how cool is that?
It's pretty awesome.
Bob prayed, and he said at the end of his prayer, it's not my name on the line. And that may not be exactly what was in the text. I'm just trying to remember from earlier today. But how true is that? When we pray for God-sized things and God-sized dreams, it's not our name on the line.
Mm-mm.
Now, I mean, again, we've sort of talked about this. This is not a license to just pray for anything that you can think of. This is praying for God's will and God's glory to be done above everything else.
Yep. And you have to have a sense about it because you're in a relationship.
Mm.
It's not name it and claim it. It is. I know that you told us to start this church under the tree, and the witch doctor is not going to be the one that outdoes God. It's just not.
Mm-hmm. When we pray like that and God gets all the glory, what does it do? It takes the responsibility off of our shoulders, right? And it puts it onto God's shoulders. And we have the freedom then to not worry about it. I mean, how nice would it be to be in situations that you know you don't have to worry about it? God's going to take care of it for you.
Yeah.
She's really into this, y'all.
Oh my goodness.
Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. He put that in here. Jesus exhorts us to do that. And then the three words ask, seek, and knock are present imperative verbs. When he said that earlier, I was like, I don't know what that really means, but he finishes up with the thought. In other words, they aren't something we do once. They're actions that are repeated over and over and over again. So whenever you pray, do you keep praying specific things, or do you move on?
I typically keep praying specific things, and then as I get things revealed, it may take a shift in another direction, but typically continue to pray the same thing. I don't know, have you met me? I'm pretty like a dog on a bone. If I want it, if it's important, you're like...
Yeah. I don't know, I've tried this, being a little bit more consistent, sticking with something longer. And it's not that I don't pray about it, or it's not that I pray and then I go, well, it's just not going to happen, and I stop praying. I'll pray about something for a while, and then I'll get to a point where I feel like, man, it's just kind of been enough, and God knows it, and then I'll move on. And what I'm learning is that's when we need to stick. That's when we need to stay. Because if I'm getting annoyed about it, then maybe somebody else is getting annoyed by it. And then, what does it say? It's written right here. Yet because of your shameless audacity, he will surely get up and give you as much as you need. There are some things in the Bible that are hard to figure out. Luke 11:8 is clear. Jesus is saying specifically, if you keep asking, that's what you have to do. That speaks directly to the heart of God. I believe that that's what it says. And so that's what we have to do. We have to be willing to stick and continue to ask. Okay. The greatest tragedy in life is the prayers that go unanswered simply because they go unasked. That's the final thought for shameless audacity. So
You're so funny.
Why?
You're just like, okay.
Well, normally you have a little more to say. You're being awfully quiet tonight.
Well, I mean, it's like they're broken and beautifully blended. I felt very clear in October last year that this is what God was revealing to me, and you and I talked about it, and now it's October of the next year, whenever we started this challenge, where you were starting to kind of come around to it. I mean, this is one of those things where it's the exact same thing. Continue to seek, continue to, whether you're seeking clarity or wisdom or guidance or whatever it is, not stopping. We listen to all of the different sermons on that walking around the walls of Jericho. If they stopped on 6, they would miss the miracle. It's continuing to go until there is a hard line. It's like July 31st of last year, whenever I felt like I was finished at work, and we prayed a fleece that night, and the very next day God answered. He drew that line.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. Shameless audacity. Keep praying, keep asking, keep knocking, and see what God does for you. and through you?
Through you is a big thing.
Well, ultimately, it's all through you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not willing, then God's not a genie.
Mm-mm.
So, all right. It's the 9th of November. Actually, it was a little while ago. I think it's after midnight now. But 9th day, it's your day to go first. What are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for all of the supporters that we have for the kids in the school system across the board. We do stuff with the ag boosters and the band boosters. Those are the two that we know of, and we have really good community support for the kids.
Yeah. Very good. I am thankful for evenings that can be difficult with kids because it allows you to have conversations differently as they grow, but conversations about why you do what you do, why you should be respectful or responsible to parents. So one of the things that she was struggling with when I got home, she was upset at one of the kids because they just weren't doing what she had needed them to do. And so we had a bit of a heated discussion for a moment, and then it became more of a conversation about respectfulness. Why should you do these things? What is it that you get out of it as a child? So I'm thankful for those moments because they are teachable moments, and I'm thankful that I can handle them differently today than I could handle them in years past. So thankful for teachable moments. All right, tomorrow, day 40.
We're getting so close to the midway point.
I know.
So close.
Yeah, that means that the holidays are barreling down on us.
I'm going to have me some turkey.
Yeah. So we want you guys to be thinking about things that you're thankful for as we enter this Thanksgiving season. Blessings and goodness and good things are all around us. It's easy to sometimes get caught up in the things that are not so good, but being thankful is always the way to go. I need to practice that more than I say it, but anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with day 40. I forgot to look and see what
it's
it says.
to put on the waders. It's the one that I was so excited about yesterday.
No, put on the waders, or put on waders. W-A-D-E-R-S.
Waders.
Waders.
Like walk in the water.
Okay, so tomorrow, put on waders.
But it's not tomorrow though, because we skip Sunday, so it's Monday.
Oh, news flash.
Get caught up on your draw the circle.
Yeah, and then we'll be here tomorrow, but no circle maker apparently. So
yeah, we do the one day a week that we let the people catch up.
Okay, so we'll see you tomorrow, day 40. Have a good night.